Coming to you from the Illegal Shift Studio, it is another episode of the One More and I'm Out of Here podcast. Hi, everyone. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. Feels like a Monday, but it's a Tuesday.
Mr. Chipper.
And I'm going to open this beer. First beer in a couple of days, so I'm happy about that. I don't know if I've ever told you guys this, but I hold Hulk Hogan in very high regard.
Excellent.
And Hulk Hogan has spoken.
It's the fucking Hulkster.
Hulkster has spoken about the 4 wrestlers that he would put on his Mount Rushmore of wrestling.
Okay.
Would you like to take a guess at who they might be?
Andre the Giant.
Andre the Giant, number 1.
Thank you.
Nice.
I mean, you talk about the center of gravity of the wrestling world.
No doubt.
It really is on. I mean, it starts and ends with Andre the Giant.
Did you hear the stories of how many beers he could drink?
About
like at a sitting?
Yeah, he used to throw a bunch of them down, I think, before the matches.
Yes.
I would say Rowdy Rodney Piper's on there.
Rowdy Roddy Piper. You're 2 for 2.
I'm 2 for 2. That's the only 2 names that I think I know.
I'm going to go, oh, yeah.
Oh, Macho Man? Yeah, Macho.
Placed at the table.
That is the greatest.
Macho Man is one of them. And now we have one more.
Fourth?
We have one more.
I'm not going to get it.
Woo!
To be the man, you got to beat the man.
That's the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Wow.
Those are Hulk. He didn't put himself.
2. You got 2. He didn't put himself.
He did not put himself on Mount Rushmore. There's only room for 4.
Well, I would.
Oh, I do love the Iron Sheik, though, back in the day.
Yeah.
Andre the Giant,
These are
Rowdy
the
Roddy
comments.
Piper, Ric Flair, and the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh, fantastic.
That was the
that was my childhood.
golden
right there.
era of wrestling.
That was my childhood.
It was fantastic.
You guys are older, so.
I paid money to watch those guys wrestle.
I mean, that was back on the UHF days.
He says they laid the groundwork for everybody that came after them. Although Hulkster was contemporaries of those guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I watched him body slam Andre the Giant.
So Andre the Giant is dead.
Yes.
Rodney Piper's dead.
Macho Man's dead.
What did Rowdy Roddy Piper die from?
I don't know.
I can't remember exactly.
I mean, he had a disease. I think it was a heart disease or something. I saw it. He's dead. I know that.
Yeah.
And then so is
Macho Man is dead.
Macho Man's dead. And
From Cincinnati, by the way.
What about the other guy?
Used to,
Ric Flair is still around.
Used to play for the Reds in the minor leagues.
Yes, he did.
Randy Poffo.
Yep.
Was his name.
Wow.
Didn't he go to Purcell?
I don't know.
I think he went to Purcell. Anyway, but the Hulkster said those guys laid the groundwork for everybody that came after them. He said those guys made me. If it wasn't for those guys, I wouldn't be Hulk Hogan.
He would be Hulk Hogan.
Roddy Piper, cardiopulmonary arrest.
There you go.
Now,
That
sucks.
Caused by
wasn't that old, was he?
Caused by
No, he was
hypertension.
I told you. I thought it was heart related.
Yeah, yeah, it was natural. I mean, I'm sure it's not completely natural. Let's be honest.
There's a series out there, and
61 years old.
I think it runs on A&E, but it does retrospectives on all these different wrestlers, and I mean, and they are really well done.
Them. They did one on Shawn Michaels, which was
the Shawn Michaels one is really good. I saw one a few weeks ago on Dusty Rhodes, The American Dream.
Are you still a wrestling fan? Do you still watch?
You know what? Not as much as I used to be. I mean, I was into it back in. I mean, when I was a kid, and the Cincinnati Gardens was still around.
Yeah,
they used to broadcast live wrestling late at night from the Cincinnati Gardens.
Oh wow!
And I mean, that was like Bobo Brazil and the Iron Sheik, and guys like that. And then then when it got into the the era with the British Bulldogs and the Hulkster and Rowdy Roddy Piper. I mean that's Jake the Snake. I mean that's pretty much when I was probably at the height of when I was into it.
Did you ever
what
go?
about Ultimate?
Oh yeah,
You went live?
Absolutely.
What about Ultimate Warrior? Do you remember?
I remember the Ultimate Warrior.
I mean, was that where you say
never saw him, but I mean he was probably on the end of that that group
on your downward slide.
Yeah, probably just past the zenith of it. But no, I mean Ultimate Warrior was great. But no, I mean it was so much fun, and my wife and I were into it big time, man.
Well, the family
we loved it.
The family that watches wrestling together.
Wrestling.
Nothing like a classy night in the Carroll household. Getting a 12-pack and a pizza and heading out to the gardens to watch some wrestling.
I feel like you're afraid of Dan because you're like way far over that way.
Well, Dan takes up.
I'm just saying. I mean, I don't give a shit. You don't have to even have to be in camera. It's fine.
So there you go.
I'm trying to help you.
If anyone would like to weigh in on the Mount Rushmore of wrestling,
where is this going to be?
Where's what going to be?
Where's the Mount Rushmore of wrestling?
Well, I don't think there really is one. I'm just saying if there,
we should do it.
You know, like if there was a Mount Rushmore of podcasters, where would we fall on that?
Well, you have so many outlets of people's, Andrew, that you could start a GoFundMe. And we could figure that out. We could put it on. We could put it on the Cut in the Hill.
So I was just thinking the same thing. The Cut in the Hill. Just have the Mount Rushmore of wrestling here in the Natty.
So
that'd be a great tourist attraction.
I think it would be great.
I didn't know you were going wrestling right out of the gate.
Right out of the gate.
I like to throw things out there.
No, I like it
from left field.
But I used to be a paramedic down at the arena. And when we'd have Monday Night Raws or, all the wrestling stuff, so fucking cool. Such a cool experience. Just to be able to watch it, even though you're working, you're sitting there watching until you get called. But I got to ride in an elevator with Hunter Hearst Helmsley, now Triple H.
Yeah.
And The Rock.
They're all sweet.
Seriously?
Standing in an elevator. I'm going into work and they're, I'm getting in the elevator and I'm like, oh, no, you guys can go. They're like, no, you come in. Coolest motherfuckers I've ever fucking met in my entire life. But literally,
how big were they?
But literally, I'm sitting in the elevator like this. I mean, they took up the whole.
I'll try not to touch you, sir.
The whole square footage of that elevator they took up. I mean, but it was neat, and to see all the theatrics, and anybody that's not from Cincinnati. At the time, it was U.S. Bank Arena. They've got doors. And it sits right on the river. So they got doors that open up and then you go down to the what do they call it? The public landing.
Yeah.
So as it's going down to the river, they had theatrics going out into there where they slammed somebody on a limousine and all of a sudden they rolled into the river.
Nice.
Like it was one of the greatest things, but we had to have a paramedic down there.
Yeah.
Just in case.
In case somebody really got hurt. Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do? I'm not jumping in that river to get them. I mean, what the fuck? But I mean, it was super cool.
You got to tend to them after they get pulled out.
Super cool, like how they had everything set up. And I mean, I loved it when I was little. As I got older, I kind of disconnected, but working those different events, it was fun.
But later on, years later, when I was stationed at Lunken Airport, when I would fly around at Chopper 9, from time to time when the WWE would come into town, the wrestlers flew on a private jet. And they flew on, a really nice private jet. It's called a Global, and it's probably one of the biggest private jets you can get before you get to something like a 737, that's been converted into a private jet. But I had a big WWE paint job logo on the side. And, of course, now some of the biggest stars in wrestling are the female wrestlers. And those women would come off of that plane. And it was, you talk about a smoke show. It was, that was, it's like, it's quitting time. Wait a minute. Here comes a WWE jet. I want to see who gets off of it. And you're hanging around 15, 20 minutes to watch these girls get off the plane.
They're kind of big, aren't they?
It was absolutely amazing.
Aren't they big or no?
No. Some of them are not that big. And some of them are smoking.
You're big, but we don't talk about you that way.
I meant they're bulked up. Aren't they?
Not a lot of them.
Oh, I don't watch female wrestling.
I don't know.
I don't watch much male wrestling other than
Kanye's wife reminded me of
Kanye's wife. Nice segue. Nice segue right into it.
Kanye's wife could have rocked us some of those wrestling outfits.
We might as well get this right out of the fucking way. That's perfect.
So the Grammy,
Dan, that is
Grammy Awards.
That's what watching Kanye's wife made me think of those girls that were getting off that airplane with it.
In what way?
Just
general shape,
similar body type.
Okay, gotcha.
Something like that.
Gotcha.
Right.
I thought maybe the outfits. I wasn't sure.
Big hooters and
let's talk about how
scantily clad.
I didn't watch. Did you watch any of the? Did you watch any of the Grammy Awards? Seriously, did anyone hear?
Not a single second.
Not 1 second. Yeah. Not one frame of video.
Nor I.
I saw a couple of things that popped up on my social media feed. And what about Will Smith's son with that fucking thing on his head?
And his daughter.
The hell was that?
weird.
Oh,
But I saw video of that,
I have something funny to go with that, but let's
And
hit
then-
this
yeah.
first. Let's
and
hit
then I
this
saw
first.
video of Kanye's wife, and I mean, if no one would have told me it was Kanye, I would have known it was him. But you've got the video, you got the blurred out version. But
Yeah, because I don't want
He
to
doesn't
get
wanna get
completely
paid.
axed off.
oh,
these
okay. But I mean, when you see
we skirt it close enough anyway.
when you see the version that's not blowed out, I mean, it really looks like she's there with not a stitch of clothing on.
So
I mean, she might as well be naked.
Yeah.
here's she is naked, just she's got like a fucking net. But here's the fucked up thing.
Is it a net or was it like
I thought it was
like industrial strength plastic?
Well, whatever.
It looked to me like the kind of plastic that meat curtains are. You're right. When you.
Oh, dude,
when
you're going down a path.
No, I'm
now.
saying when
You just
that's
said
what
meat
that's what they're called.
You literally just
Does
said
it that it's that thick, really thick plastic that
No.
hangs like
No.
it divides a room, like
I
in a
think-
room where there's air conditioning from a room where there's not.
my vision when I
I'm
saw
not
the
saying a word because you guys.
I'm just saying.
when
I
I
can't
saw the
approve of
unedited
this.
version,
Yeah.
it looked sheer as hell,
Mhm.
very
It
thin.
was pantyhose material.
Yes,
It was hosing.
yes.
Is that what it was?
It looked to me to be
All right.
hosing.
It wasn't meat curtains. She had meat curtains showing.
I did not want to go there, but you.
But, well,
went
we're
there.
going. Dan started.
Well,
it.
now they got kicked out, right? That's what I read.
They ended up opting to leave.
I
They-
heard that he wasn't invited.
they left after the red carpet, and now there's potential that she's going to get charged.
charged with public indecency in
Yes.
California. Was it in California? I don't even know where it was.
I don't
know
even
where
know
it
what the
was.
fuck it was.
I don't.
I just-
I don't know,
just-
and I don't care.
The article I read, it said
Public indecency at the Grammys. Now that's pretty funny. I mean, I just let that sink
that's
in.
pretty egregious. That's pretty egregious. It's. I mean, I'm not upset with it.
Dan
I
mentioned-
wasn't mad when I looked at it. I
Dan-
wasn't upset.
Dan mentioned earlier that he thought that Kanye had found religion.
I
mean,
thought he had.
well, maybe he's fell off the wagon.
I don't.
Sure.
I'm not. I don't know how.
Oh,
that
he
works.
found the Lord somewhere.
He was saying, "Oh lordy."
Everybody saw the Lord there.
said, "Help me."
Well,
But how fucked? Like Kanye,
so they weren't.
Kanye West.
They
Kanye West.
crashed it. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know that they
it?
crashed it. I don't know that they went into. I don't. He said they weren't invited. I didn't say they weren't invited,
Hmm.
but they hit the carpet and then they left,
Oh, well, I guess
and there was no other carpet to be seen in that
Yeah.
that
we
that
have
photograph.
carpet. We've got
No,
got
she
a
she
couple of terms
she
here.
did not have a lot of carpet. Is this in your way?
Yeah,
Is this
move
bothering
that
you?
move
All
that shit.
Well, you keep flicking now.
I know. First time would be a fucking clue.
All right. Well, just give me a second here. There.
But Kanye West is such a weird fuck anyway,
He is a weird dude.
and
I don't know.
so you have people that are looking at that, the lip readers that were watching him. Like she looked, and I can't take credit for this, but somebody said when I was talking to him today, it was almost like she had Stockholm syndrome, where she's looking at him.
Like she's been beaten.
Yes,
Yeah, she kind of did have that.
and
is that the same girl that in the video that?
Jesus Christ,
I've
can
never
I finish my
seen
thought?
her before.
Okay.
So
I just want to finish my thought with it,
Right.
and then you can ask.
I don't know.
But he literally whispers in her ear, and she's like almost like tense as hell. He whispers something in her ear, and all of a sudden, she turns around, then it comes off. You see her ass, and then she turns around, and then you see everything.
Oh, you mean so he whispered something like "Take your damn jacket off" or something like that?
Essentially, I mean, I can't speak for what he actually said. That is what is the couple articles that I've read is what is being implied.
Whatever.
We are one more him out of here is not implying that he said that.
Who is she? Is she was anything other than his wife? Is she like a former anything?
I have no idea.
I just know her
no.
name's Bianca. That's all I know.
Bianca.
And she's married to a fucking Looney Tune.
I don't
He
know.
is a
My-
bit on the weird.
the only thing I know about the Grammys is that
Remus.
Beyonce won for the country album of the year,
Which is a fucking
Weird.
complete
and my wife listens
fucking farce.
to country music, and she says they don't even play any of her songs on the radio.
No.
she's not a country star.
How do you
Well, apparently she is. She won a Grammy for it.
Look, the only thing I know about
Maybe being a country music person isn't that hard.
locally,
I mean,
the only thing I know about Grammys is the pizza place, Grandma's. That's it.
I know Dan Varner was in our chats. I need his input. Dan Varner was in the chats here.
Yeah, Dan's the musical
Here shortly.
expert.
I need his input
Is,
at some
is she
point.
is she country western, Dan? We want to know.
I don't know. I how many Beyonce songs can you name?
Uh,
Me either. Yeah.
All the single ladies. I know
Me either. Yeah.
all the single ladies. I know that one because
I know that one.
because they all do that.
I know that one. That's it.
I don't know. I couldn't name one, but apparently she's won 33 Grammys now. So that's
Whatever.
I guess.
Look, I'm not the most hip person when it comes to music or awards or anything like that. So you're asking the wrong cat. But
Same here.
it is interesting.
You're asking the wrong cat.
It is interesting that that was the big hubbub over the weekend, I suppose.
But you do know Romeo Void though.
Oh, great. You know what? I expanded. Let me tell you something. Of all the music that you have on the radio, that is probably the best bumper music ever.
So
Oh my God,
Pappas walk up.
Falker out to find out has the best comment ever.
I have my walk-up music.
It's coming up on screen. Falk, you are completely correct.
All right, well, let me see what she says.
Oh, ouch.
It's in quotes, so
I
it's
think you
fine.
misspelled it, but that's okay.
You misspelled it.
So anyway, that was going on this weekend, and then we had a lot of every day, since we are going to kind of segue into stuff we were supposed to be talking about.
No, I like it though.
I know we could talk about this for half an hour, and that would probably drive our ratings down.
We have ratings,
supposedly.
Allegedly.
You know, I don't know
I'm
how
watching right now.
How do you guys feel? Every day for me feels like Christmas. I wake up and I'm like, what did he do this morning? You know,
Yes.
I mean, I'm like, what are the Democrats losing their shit about today?
Oh my God.
It's been nonstop, and I love it. I love every bit of it. You know, the latest scuttlebutt, if you want to get into it, is how, you know, all the Democrats now hate Elon Musk. They've hated him for a while, but they really hate him now. And his wanting to close down this U.S. aid department and highlighting all the waste and fraud. And we have a article showing just a little bit. Jason, get to it. Just a little bit of the waste and fraud that the U.S. aid has been doing. Your tax dollars going to support things such as. Let me put it up on the screen here. Okay, there you go. You want to read some of that, Dan? Here we got
15 million.
1.5.
Oh, I'm sorry, 1.5 million to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion in Serbia's workplaces and business communities.
Wow.
I mean, this is
because that's important
That's important
for us here.
the thing is, U.S. aid, USAID, is the hardcore leftist playground of spending money. And now that Elon Musk has discovered this and exposed what it is, the Democrats and the libs are losing their shit.
So we got 70,000 for a DEI musical in Ireland, which is very, very important.
Gotta have that.
Gotta have it.
$2.5 million for electric vehicles in Vietnam because, you know, that's very necessary.
Because the rickshaws don't work.
That's right. 47 grand for a transgender opera in Colombia because I heard they're very popular. 32 grand.
Fuck, I just bought tickets last week.
I know.
Son
32
of a bitch.
grand for a transgender comic book in Peru because that's really important. And let's see, 2 million for sex changes and LGBT whatever activism in Guatemala. 6 million to fund tourism in Egypt because, you know, we need to make sure people know where the pyramids are. And Egypt. Yep. And then but go on down the list. I'd like to know, and I wish that someone would, maybe we have some budding journalists out there. Not that, you know, I've been impressed with our local journalism given what I've seen on the news, but I'd like to know how much these NGOs got from USAID, like maybe Catholic Charities and all these organizations that have been helping expedite illegal immigration into this country.
What's
well, those numbers are in the billions.
What was
to be.
What was the number from the chick that gave the evocation or whatever?
Oh, her church got
52 million
millions of dollars. The
52 million dollars or some shit like that.
She was on the gravy train.
Church, yes, and that was the reason that she was preaching to Donald Trump because
invocation. I said,
you know, so now they're all squawking. I saw that that our favorite AOC was lamenting how Elon Musk is the dumbest billionaire she's ever met. Like, she's met a lot, but you know, everyone's bashing Elon Musk, and I say let it keep going. I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg, and I can't wait to find out more and more waste and fraud that's been going on in your name with your tax dollars. So hopefully this, you know, hopefully this keeps going, and I'm enjoying it. I really am.
So the Federalist put out a great piece on this. And the USAID stands for the United States Agency for International Development. And they're talking about how the Trump administration is looking at folding this into the State Department. That's why Marco Rubio was talking about it. And he says, you know what? I mean, he talked about how the spending was ridiculous. But USAID is widely perceived as a CIA front organization. Former State Department official Mike Benn says USA has funded international censorship and regime change operations. Last Monday, acting agency administrator Jason Gray placed 40 to 60 USAID employees on paid administrative leave while the investigation is underway. There's information that they may have been conspiring to circumvent Trump's executive orders requiring the halting of federal aid funds to overseas programs and all diversity, equity, and inclusion programs within the agency. So you've got Trump, who was elected by the people. You've got a group of non-elected bureaucrats here who are going to try and resist. And how do you think that's going to work out for them?
Hopefully not well.
Hopefully not well.
Including the city of Cincinnati has. I saw even today your city had a online presentation on how to resist and avoid and be very confrontational with ICE. And I'd like to say something else.
I want to see it happen first.
Well, here's something maybe you guys saw. So WCPO, Channel 9 here in Cincinnati, had this big thing had a screen they were promoting today.
Use your words, Andrew.
Well, it was part of this immigrant rights meeting, and here's what they were showing on the screen. It says, you know, this is what they're showing on the TV. You can remain silent. Call an attorney. Always ask to see a warrant, and don't sign anything. So I was just puzzled. You know, is WCPO now, you know, giving advice as to how to avoid and
it sounds like legal advice to me.
Sounds to me like they're aiding and abetting a bunch of criminals. That's what it sounds like to me.
Well, the city had experts come in from outside and provide information to the what they like to refer to as the immigrant community in the city of Cincinnati.
Are these legal immigrants or illegal immigrants?
Well, they like to conflate the two.
Okay.
They like to not differentiate between those who are here illegally and those who are here for whatever purpose, and if they're here under some sort of legal status. You know, so they like to conflate those two things and confuse people as to what they're really talking about. So they want to create this notion that somehow the law enforcement, federal law enforcement, is being brought to bear on immigrants that are in the city of Cincinnati, just minding their own business.
Yeah.
Just, legally. The bottom line is, if you're here legally, you really don't have anything to worry about.
Correct.
You might be stopped.
I have a question.
You might be asked a few questions.
Go ahead, Jason.
But go ahead.
Well, I have a question for you as being a member of the media. How and I'm not trying to put you completely on the spot, but personally, I know where you stand. But like, why is that okay? Why is that okay for a news channel to put that on the television to say, do this, 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 and this? That's fucking legal advice, for one. Two, I agree with Andrew. It's aiding and abetting. So why is the media even getting in fucking? Why are they involved in any of that? In the fact that, if you're wrong, and you're going to go. And if you're good, to your point, if you've got nothing to fucking worry about, then cool. Continue on with your day.
That video the
screenshot
that you had there was came from a presentation that took place at City Hall. So Channel 9 was there just recording the event, and they showed that video.
So let's put it to the
TV,
city then.
But
I'll take the news channel out of it then. I'll take the media out.
Yeah.
That's fine. Why is the city giving legal advice?
And why is the news?
That's a good one. That
why
too
is the news channel helping?
Why is the news channel
helping? Because the city feels the need to protect our immigrant community here in Cincinnati.
Let me say something. There's a local family here that,
but it's not just happening here.
No, it's happening everywhere. It's happening everywhere, and some representatives and elected officials are helping as well. But here's the problem: when you confuse the two, when you lump illegal and legal immigrants together, it does a disservice to the legal immigrant community, because there are a lot of them. And I actually know of a young man. I was contacted by a local person here, a young man that's at Anderson High School. His family is from Peru, and they were here on a work visa, a 90-day work visa, and her visa is expiring. And they're leaving. They're trying to see if they can extend the visa, but there's a problem on the Peruvian side, not the United States side. And they were asking me if I knew anybody, and I said, well, I would check. But the thing is, they are leaving because they want to be legal. They're doing it correctly. Right. They had a visa.
Yeah, you're doing it the right way.
And so what is she going to get for that? She's going to get punished because she's going back to her country to get a visa extension or whatever. Meanwhile, illegal, hey, come on in. Don't worry about it. I mean, it does a disservice to the people that are trying to do the job correctly. And that pisses me off. And the city is helping. And a lot of liberal Democrat politicians are helping. Newsflash. Elections have consequences. You lost the election. Deal with the consequences.
Well, Jan Lemon Kearney, I don't know if you've ever met her or not, but she's an extremely liberal politician who is the vice mayor of the city of Cincinnati.
Does she hyphenate?
I don't know.
Okay.
But Aftab Purval, who is the mayor, we talked about it on this podcast a few days ago. And we talked about how he said that he was not of a mind to cooperate with the feds or ICE if they come to Cincinnati. He has since modified that position to where he and the sheriff and the chief of police have said that they will follow the law, because I guess they got some legal advice that they probably shouldn't be out there saying stuff like that. But you had Kearney, who was on the radio this morning before that meeting, talking about the immigrants. And then she went on to say that, and now I just forgot what I was going to say.
Not shocked.
But no, you were talking, you were talking, and you reminded me of something that she said that I
what
that
is
I
her
thought
name
made,
again?
Jan Lemon Kearney.
Is that a hyphen?
She's the, I don't know.
I just want to know.
No, but damn it, you said something that reminded me of something that she said, and it was an excellent point.
I find that,
and I just forgot about it.
I find that the longer the name of some of these, obviously females want to hold on to like every name in their history. I find there's a correlation to the more last names they have, the more liberal they are. Have you run into that?
She's extremely liberal.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah, but. I don't know. Now I just forgot what I was going to say.
Well, damn it! I'm sorry.
Happens.
It'll
come back.
I know. It's so terrible.
It'll come back to you. Buddy.
But hey, listen. If the city of Cincinnati,
can we just rewind the audio in there and play that back? It'll jog my memory.
If the city of Cincinnati wants to F around
producers
and find out what happens, then you know what? Keep doing this. Keep being obstructionist. And I don't think that our new secretary is going to put up with the time. Homan doesn't mess around.
Right. Now I just remembered what it was.
There you go. I knew if I.
So you were talking about this gal that's got to jump through all these hoops.
Right.
And it speaks to the way that our system needs reform. And so what she was saying is that, they just want to short circuit all of this. And she said more than once that people who are here illegally need a pathway to citizenship. Well, that is completely the wrong way to think about it.
Correct.
Because people who are here illegally have already committed a crime. They should not be rewarded.
Correct.
Ahead of people like you just talked about, who are trying to do it the right way.
The right way.
Yes.
Every time they talk about, oh, well, we have families in fear, and we have kids that aren't showing up to school because they're afraid. And I saw a video of a guy who was a roofing contractor. I think he was in Florida. But he was talking about how, I don't have guys on my jobs now because they're afraid to show up and work because they're going to get deported. Well, stop hiring illegal guys. Stop that. That's not helping anything.
I completely agree with you. It's hard to not hire illegal people if they're going to work cheap.
Well, wait a second.
Hold on. Let me finish.
I know, but let me say one thing.
Oh, here we
It's
go.
not necessarily. I know a lot of people that hire employees. Do you know that when you hire an employee and you ask, you don't have the right as an employer.
You're not allowed to ask.
You're
Yeah.
not allowed to
see
ask.
their documentation. You're not allowed. They fill out the I-9 and then you submit that. And what usually happens is months later or weeks, at least several weeks later, you get a notice from the Social Security that number is not correct. And then you can't even ask them to see the card.
Yeah, you can't even question.
So
it
my
anymore.
point is, if you're going to hammer the employer saying you're hiring illegals, right? But then you don't give the employer any way to verify the information they're given,
There's zero
and
recourse.
or see the documentation to back up what you've been given. How is that the employer's fault? So I'm saying you're setting the employer up to fail. Now, I would tell you this, that, you know, if a contractor has a bunch of guys that show up and they say, I want to do a roof, and they want $20 an hour, you know, I think he's going to take the first body that he can hire, not just sit there and say, if he has a bunch of, you know, Americans show up, say, I'll take $30 an hour, he'll take them too. He's going to pass that cost along.
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But it's not the case that the employer can always know that the person he's hiring is legal or illegal, because you've effectively tied his hands from seeing that documentation. So until that whole, Dan's right, until this whole system is just totally redone again from the ground up, it's never going to fix itself.
Right. And we're going to be chasing our tails for quite some time, but we're getting a hold of it and starting to push it back.
I think so.
And getting the borders secure. I'm all about somebody wanting to come into this country and work, again, legally. And you want most of the time they work cheaper. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Most of the time. I mean, it's just, I mean, I'm blanket statement, but if they're here legally and trying to support their family,
if they have a green card and a work permit, they should be allowed to be here. I mean, they
Yes.
should be allowed to work, and you should be allowed to hire them, because they are then withholding taxes on their salary, and they're being paid over the table, above the table, not below the table.
Correct.
And no business, you know, I love these people that never had a business. I'm not disparaging anybody here by any stretch, but a lot of people sit there and say, no, seriously, I'm not. People go, oh, you just want to pay them under the table. Well, here's the deal, Einstein. If you're paying somebody, if you own a business and you're receiving income, and then you don't have an expense to offset that income, and you're paying somebody under the table, what does that do to your income? It overinflates your income, and then you pay more taxes on income that you may not actually have. So that's not your desire by any way, shape, or form. But a lot of people make these blanket statements.
Ignorance. It's ignorance of
they
the
make
system.
these blanket statements that an employer wants to pay someone under the table. That's not correct at all. But, you know, like, you know, this guy you said in Florida, he doesn't know what he's going to do because none of his laborers showed up. Well, you know, I'm sure he probably had a fairly, I don't know, maybe okay idea that maybe half his crew might not be documented, but he just was getting by day to day and doing his job.
You know, he should have seen that coming when Trump was going to win the election.
Well, he should have said, get new papeles.
But this whole notion, and it's one that the Democrats and the left love to throw out there, is that we need a pathway to citizenship. And Trump is smart enough to know. I mean, all we heard from the Biden administration is we have a broken immigration system. It's broken. Well, it's broken because you screwed it up.
Yeah.
Does it need to be dealt with? I think it does. But it's a huge, complex problem. And you don't solve it if you don't take the first step. And the first step is securing the border. And I think we are well on our way to doing that. I saw a video today. Pete Hegseth was down there. Good
segue.
He said today that he says, I'm telling my guys that are down here on the border, if someone on the other side of that river shoots at you, then you engage and you shoot back.
Good. I want to play part of this. I mean, it's long. I'm just going to play part of it, but let it go through.
But I mean, that's the kind of thing that we've needed down there for a long time.
So hopefully we may get an ad. I don't know.
Oh yeah, for running right off
procedure in place, the right personnel, and ultimately the platforms and systems to maintain it. And I'm proud to be here with Tom Homan today. He's been with us all day long. The Borders are, whose charge it is to make sure we secure every square inch of the southern border. He and men and women like him have been doing that for decades. And frankly, The Defense Department has been helping on the border for decades, just not at the level that President Trump has charged us with right now. Because we believe, and he believes, that border security...
This is their stuff because I've already seen it. It's their shit that's
guys and gals of my generation have spent decades in foreign countries guarding other people's borders. It's about time we secure our own border. Tens of millions of people have poured across this border under Joe Biden's administration, unchecked. We have no idea who they are. We have no idea where they're coming from. We have no idea what their intentions are. In many ways, under the Biden administration, and Tom knows this better than anybody else, they were facilitating their entry into this country. That stops now under President, and the Defense Department is proud to be a part of it. We've defended other places and other spaces. We will defend this line. And talking to the men and women in uniform, they're proud to be here. They're excited to be here. They're motivated to be here because they're defending their friends, their family, their communities, their church, their school.
I want to hear Homan talk for a second. I think he comes up quick.
We don't know. We are going to get control of this border. And as I mentioned, to the cartels, all options are on the table. We will secure our border and our men and women guarding it, and we're proud to be here. Tom, you have any thoughts?
Well, I've worked for 6 different presidents on the ground. I joined the board in 1984. The first Trump presidency was a game changer, right? Unprecedented success. 45-year-old oil, illegal immigration, down 90, as high as 91%, depending on what time frame you look at. But what I've seen here since he took over from office, President Trump, is a game changer. You saw this first administration successful on the border. I've never seen a military fight remove illegal aliens. That happened. I've never seen a amount of engagement from the military on the border, on the security border. I've never seen engagement from other law enforcement agencies, U.S. FBI, U.S. Marshals, DEA, DOJ's at the table across the country doing operations. This is a game changer. We will finally succeed in having operational control of our southern border with this president in charge. And
I think that pretty much.
Man, what an absolute what an absolute difference. Can you imagine Lloyd Austin standing there?
Oh my God. Unbelievable. You gotta be kidding me.
He's gotta go get his prostate fixed and not tell anybody first.
And for that matter, you know, I think now that Hegseth has been to the border more in 2 weeks than Kamala was in 4 years.
I put it in the description. The fact that Hegseth's been there, and wow, we didn't see that for 4 years.
Did you hear also that the military recruitment numbers are through the roof since he's been appointed?
I have not seen that. But.
Yeah, they're through the roof.
Well, it's pretty amazing when you talk about. I mean, what's it been? January 20th is when Trump was sworn in.
2 weeks.
Today is February the 4th. Huh. So how many days is that?
Not that many.
14 days, 13 days, 14 days.
That's kind of why I said 2 weeks.
And look at, I mean, the border crossings are about zero right now.
Right.
And you know, I'm thinking.
Biden said we didn't have a problem at the border.
I'm thinking, I'm thinking that Trump gets in the office and the border crossings are going to slow down and they might get down to a trickle maybe after 3 or 4 months, something like that. No.
Immediately.
I mean, this is 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, and Hegseth is out there talking about how we've got, we're gonna.
Well, you know,
I wouldn't say he said we have total control of the border, but he says we are going to get control of. And now that the cartels know that when you shoot at our guys, guess what? They're going to shoot back, and when they shoot back, they're going to shoot back with overwhelming force.
Now,
I think that sends a message.
What we woke up to over the weekend was a Monday. I woke up to the left and the paper and the news all freaking out because we were in a trade war with Canada, and we were in a trade war with Mexico, and we're not respected anywhere in the world anymore. We're the bullies, fantastic. And we're pushing Panama around and Greenland around and everything else. Well, you know, that was Monday morning. Well, by lunch, Mexico had decided, okay, we don't want a trade war. we're putting 10,000 troops at the border on our side of the border to help secure the border and to tell the cartels. And they did actually, they captured today a guy from the cartel, leader at one of the cartels, the Mexican troops did. And then that was at lunch. And then by dinner, by a little after lunch, Panama said, hey, you know what? We're canceling all these contracts with the Chinese companies that we have. And we are going to, not only that, we're going to not charge the United States Navy for crossing the Panama Canal. Wow. You know, hey, didn't see that coming. And then by that night, Castro's bastard child, Justin Trudeau, said that we're going to put a pause and we're going to tighten up. They're going to tighten up the Canadian border, and the tariffs with Canada didn't go through. Now,
Canada's going to have a fentanyl czar.
Right.
Yeah. And so there's going to be a joint U.S.-Canadian strike force to combat organized crime and fentanyl and money laundering.
Yeah, what were the numbers? 200 million Canada was going to put into, and it's in this article.
I think it's 1.3 billion for Canada, which comes out to about 900 million American.
I mean,
1.3 billion-dollar border plan.
Their currency did crash.
And a point of border czar.
Their currency did kind of crash there for a bit. But I mean, here's the deal. This was all done, you know, with Trump simply taking a position and saying, we're going to do this unless you do that. And everyone said, oh, he's a bully, and oh, it's not the way to treat your neighbor. And Biden did it better. And then boom, look at the results. The results speak.
And that's a funny thing is you saw it, which cracks me up with the Mexican president's name, because I feel like she owns an accounting firm.
Yeah, she doesn't. She's not like Juarez or something like that.
It's not a Mexican name,
it's
but
not a Mexican.
Whatever. I mean, Claudia, I love you. Whatever. Thank you for listening to Trump in that conversation. But it's weird, you know, Shambine or whatever the fuck it is. But it's so funny to me. Mexico hits and agrees, and then
Sheinbaum, Claudia Sheinbaum.
I was close. Sheinbaum, whatever. But Mexico agrees, and then probably 3-4 hours later, after a half an hour phone call, Trump and Trudeau.
Right.
This is what we got.
Mm-hmm.
Trudeau and his, like, all his constituents and all the people, and I don't even know like how that works up north. I don't know how it works. I know there's one guy that's really like, he's trying to be the Tom Homan of America for Canada. He tries, you know, bulldog it. Trudeau's like, you know what? Yeah, we'll do 30 days and we'll give you this and we'll do this and we'll do this. Now let's see if the rubber meets the road.
Hey, you know, Canada has a problem with the open border. We've all known that for some time. Matter of fact, a lot of our fentanyl comes across the Canadian border as well, which is very, very porous, and they need to step it up. And they will. And that's all that Trump wanted to have done. And, you know, the only thing that did go through is, and it'll probably will affect some prices on stuff. I'm not really the expert on that, but, you know, we are in now a little bit of a trade war, tariff war with China. But, you know, the Chinese, I mean, that was coming either way because the Chinese have barriers to our products and don't trade equally with us and have a lot of unfair practices with us. And Trump's been talking for a long time. So it's like I said when we started the show, it's like Christmas every day. There's something new comes along and Trump says something and the libs go crazy. Today it's the USA aid. We'll see what it is tomorrow. It's only Tuesday, for Christ's sake, and 14 days into his administration.
Well, yeah, I think a big thing that's driving this as far as the fentanyl goes is that
Will Cray, our buddy, we met Will Cray. We hung out with him down in North Carolina. In Minnesota, he said there's a spot in Minnesota-Canada border that is literally a phone booth. Which
you just walk through.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
I mean, it's not a. There's no fence up there. I mean, there's no big fence. There's maybe a barbed wire fence, if that. But you know, they counted on the fact that, you know, the weather would keep people.
You can just ride a snowmobile right across the
Canadian. You could if there's snow. You could probably. I mean, I'm sure there's been instances of people making the wrong turn and end up in Canada.
Oops.
I mean, look, I go to Detroit quite a bit. You could I mean, Detroit is right there. I mean, you take a jet ski and you're in Canada. I mean, no one's going to stop you. It's wide open. It's a wide open border. You could very easily take a boat and come across and dock it in downriver Detroit and get in a car and drive away.
But I love it because you get so many libtards out there who, when Trump does diplomacy this way, they want to go on all the the CNNs and the MSNBCs and wring their hands and talk about, well, this isn't the way you do it. This isn't how you do diplomacy. You don't bully our neighbor.
He's getting it done.
Hey, how is it bullying? He put his cards on the table.
That's right.
He said, hey, it's time for some tariffs. Here's what I want.
This is what we're doing.
Couple of phone calls, done deal.
Boom.
I mean, what is wrong with that?
They don't like people that.
What is wrong with it?
They have a problem with people that speak their mind and mean what they say.
Well, fucking Joe's like, hold on, I gotta get my ice cream real quick. Hold on, I'll be right back. I need to put you on hold for a second. All of a sudden, boom.
Yeah.
Call's gone.
If Biden was able to get something like this done over a period of 2 years,
it would give him a little bit of.
They'd all be walking around with the chubby, but it would give him off all over the place. He's stupid.
It would give him a little bit of credibility, though, that he actually did something.
He didn't do shit.
And I know we all know he didn't do shit. Had he done this, it would have been like, okay, yeah, he's trying to do something. We did not see that. Trump is in office fucking a month and a half. Or 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And fucking boom, boom, boom. And when I was at work yesterday, I had it on in the office, and I saw the Mexican, the Mexico American shit. Oh, jeez. We'll get to that in a second, apparently. But
I know some guys that.
But I saw the Mexico stuff, and I'm like, okay, cool. All right, we're making some progress. We're moving. I knew that fucking Canada was going to fall in line a little bit, and it's going to be a give and take between both countries. But we've got 30 days to figure out. All right, are you doing what you said you were going to do? Because we're going to do what we are.
Right.
Do you say what you're going to do? Cool, got it. Checks, balances, boom, done. It's not that fucking hard. It really isn't.
And he also talked about, let's not forget China. Talked about he was going to put tariffs on China.
I haven't heard shit about China.
Those are supposed to start today.
Yeah,
10%.
They did 10%.
Now, I think we can all agree that things as they get negotiated with China are probably going to be a bit more complex.
That's going to be more
than dealing with it would be more complex. Kind of compared to you dealing with someone in California, Jason, instead of with your neighbors right next door on either side of you. When you deal with them, what's that? You talk across the fence, make a phone call, done deal. So I have every confidence, though, that whatever deal gets worked out with China is going to be to the benefit of the United States.
I have to do it. Andrew's going to be pissed, but I have to do it.
Why?
Keep going. Keep talking.
What did you do?
Just keep talking.
You did something.
He did something. I always do something. What's he doing?
I don't know. I don't know what he's doing.
What's he doing?
No, I was just reading through the story here about
AOC
Cortez. Yeah. Do you want to read the headline there?
Hey, he's back.
Uh-oh.
Lazarus awakes from the dead. Buddy, we're just so glad you're alive. We thought maybe you were like you'd gotten a rope and, I don't know, tied a knot too tight.
Why isn't he being a tough guy with Russia? How do you know he's not being a tough guy with Russia?
He's a tough guy.
How do you know there's not
it's funny that he doesn't mention any of the things
there's not talks going on with Russia.
He does. Did we also
I knew that was gonna be like zing.
Wait a second. What about those hostages in the Middle East that happened almost immediately when he got elected?
Pretty good.
Inaugurated. He got
pretty good.
A lot
right
of them
there.
Released. Isn't there a ceasefire in the Middle East still that's going on? And isn't Netanyahu here meeting with Trump today?
Is today or tomorrow?
Today or tomorrow.
Is he here today?
Did we just get a hostage released?
Hey, let's just cherry pick. Let's go and see. But he didn't do this. 513. The next thing you got to say is he hasn't dropped the price of eggs either. God, what a failure! What an absolute abject failure! You're so right, man. God, you nailed it. What an idiot! I thought maybe you had been silent because I don't know. I thought maybe you'd been like, God, he's really getting a lot done, and I don't have a whole lot to bitch about. But I see you probably fired up NPR and got your marching orders from National Public freaking Communist Radio, and you're back here. I had a feeling when you said I'm going to do it, and then you did it. I had a feeling it would be that prick. But whatever. Welcome back, buddy. We missed you like a rash, like a boil. Anyway, it's fine. I'm glad you're commenting, because anybody that's going to sit here and
pushing
bitch
the algorithm
about freaking Donald Trump and the things he's been able to accomplish in 2 short weeks, given the abject failure of the last 4 years.
Yeah, more. Than
I find
the last
you.
4
I
years.
find that you know, if you're going to try to be intellectually honest, you've failed immediately. So it's a non-starter. But you keep trying, buddy, and you listen to. I love that NPR All Things Considered. They have that kitschy music right before they beg you for money. So, you know, you keep doing whatever it is that you do, bud. There.
I figured you'd like it, Andrew.
Done. I mean, it pisses me off.
I knew you were gonna be mad, but
no, I'm not mad.
but we haven't seen him in forever.
No, we haven't seen him in forever.
And
We were going to do a wellness check. We didn't know what trailer was his, so we didn't want to knock on the wrong door. But at the end of the day, he's back, which is fine. It's fun.
Glad he's safe.
But as
Glad
it
he's
relates
safe.
to Russia and Ukraine,
Yeah.
Trump did say he was going to suspend all funding for Ukraine.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, Kiev has not fallen.
No.
To my knowledge, Russia is not on the march.
No.
And I haven't really heard any news out of Ukraine at all.
I heard one thing that Zelensky said he can't account for almost half the money that they said that we've.
So
sent
isn't like 70 billion?
Yeah,
was that about the?
We didn't
right
get
number?
all that
Yeah.
money. So I mean, color me shocked. Are you shocked? I'm shocked. Shocked.
I mean,
Ukraine is like the most corrupt country on
I'm
the
sure
planet.
some people in the Biden administration can account for that.
I mean, 513 doesn't want to mention
Yes.
that because, you know, that would reflect poorly on his guy. So we don't want to talk about that at all.
I'd like to look at bank statements.
Moron.
I would like to look at bank statements.
And isn't that interesting? That's what they did when James Comer and his committee investigated the Biden crime family. They looked at bank statements.
That's right.
They looked at bank records, and they found all the money that that had gone from these foreign countries into the accounts of Biden, this Biden, that Biden, all the Biden family members. How many shell companies?
Oh,
LLCs.
Was it like
Had
27
they formed something like that?
And let me ask you a question.
A couple of dozen, yeah.
And those you know, his preemptive pardons, were they like for recent events, or did they go all the way back to like 2021 or something like that?
I think they went back for his son. I know they went back to 14.
Yeah, and when he was vice president.
And what about
weird?
Fauci?
How the hell does that happen?
Fauci
got
got him all the way back to like 2011 or
God,
2014.
So odd. How does that happen? But hey, you're right. You know, Trump isn't being tough. Not that you know, but Trump isn't being tough with Putin. You know, Dan's right. I don't hear of Russia on the march in Ukraine. You know, Kiev hasn't fallen. I haven't heard it could change at any minute. But you know, I haven't heard of bombs falling or anything new going on over there. But hey, you're right, buddy. According to you and your leftist drivel, he's not tough with Putin.
I know for a fact he's already spoken with Putin.
I'm sure he has,
and he said as much.
I'm sure he has.
And,
I would expect him. I would expect it multiple times.
I would expect that they have communicated multiple times.
I would tell you
because
this.
you know, I mean, look, you know,
I love this.
that Putin wants to know
This is great.
what is on his mind. Putin wants to know.
I would say that Putin obviously respects Donald Trump as a leader a lot more than he had any modicum of respect for Joe Biden.
I don't know how you couldn't.
I don't know how he couldn't either. Now, the one thing, if you study history and Russia and the history of Russia at all, they respect strength. They abhor weakness. And what we've had the last 4 years was nothing but weakness. What we definitely have now is strength and a guy just putting America first. And if, you know, you want to sit here and, you know, bellyache about this, that, or the other and pick this guy apart, have at it. You're going to still be in the minority. I do appreciate the fact. Did you guys see, I don't know that we have the video. Did you see, I thought I sent you, I know
Probably
I posted
not
it.
if you didn't send
Well,
it.
I think I did, but maybe I didn't. Did you see the video from the DNC, the Democrat National Committee, when they were having elections for their new leadership? Oh my God. Oh my God. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the DNC.
Oh, do we have that soundbite? that is so classic.
Which
the one about about the genders.
Did you guys send it to me? Because
yes,
I know I posted.
I mean, you've been to a lot of meetings like that where people get elected and there's
have.
rules for the election.
I have,
and
I've never seen anything like that before in my life.
If you didn't send it to me,
hold on, I'm going to look it up.
Well,
I'm going to look it up and send it.
It's on my feed, but anyway, that's
oh
fine.
My God, it's hilarious.
So nobody cares about your feed.
Everyone cares about my feed. So here's the deal. So the DNC had an election. They were determining who their new leadership is, and they had a big deal. A big thing was talking about the genders because they had to have a man and a woman, and then something else. And they got all hung up about it, and it just evolved into just the silliest discussion. That right there, that is it. And then the other thing is,
send it to me.
Hold on, I'm sending it to you.
And then they elected for their vice chair. They elected the intellectual giant that I'm sure 513 has a poster of him up because he's real manly. Is David Hogg, another literary giant whose claim to fame is he has never done anything in his life. So this is where the Democrats have chosen to go down the path of even more kookery and even swerve further onto the left.
Tomfoolery.
The only question,
is that related?
The only question I have is David Hogg. Is he the transgender or any gender nominee or electee?
I don't know his gender. I don't know his pronouns. I would say this: if he claims to be masculine, he's a couple of quarts low.
Oh my God!
He is definitely.
I mean, you can't make this kind of stuff up.
No, you can't. And this is the leadership they've chosen. This is the path that when the Democrats still don't know why they lost the last election, and I'm so happy that they've chosen this leadership, and this is the direction they want to go in.
The non-binary, or what the hell does that mean? Non-binary or a member of any gender.
513 would probably know better because I'm not sure what his pronouns are.
All right, here we go.
This is officer. The non-binary individual is counted as neither male nor female, and the remaining 6 offices must be gender balanced.
Flying fuck.
With the results of the previous 4 elections, our elected officers are currently 2 male and 2 female. In order to be gender balanced, we must elect 1 male, 1 female, and 1 person of any gender. So again,
I don't even know what the fuck
we have to do for this vice chair race. We have to elect 1 male, 1 female, and 1 person of any gender.
What the fuck is that?
To ensure our process accounts for male, female, and non-binary candidates, we conferred with our RBC co-chair, our LGBT caucus co-chair, and others to ensure that the process is inclusive and meets the gender balance requirements in our rules. To do this, our process will be slightly different than the one outlined to you earlier this week. But I hope you will see that in practice, it is simple and transparent. The order of balloting is designed to ensure equal access to the ballot, regardless of gender identity. As we
have you not seen this,
of any gender,
Jason?
Well,
I saw first part.
1 female vice chair. We will first ask members to elect a candidate of any gender on the first ballot.
Oh my God!
Any candidate, male, female, and non-binary, can be elected on that ballot.
I can't help it.
After a candidate is elected on the first ballot, we'll have 1 officer.
This poor fucking lost. This poor guy's lost already.
So then we will know which position is filled of the 1 male, 1 female, and 1 vice chair.
Oh my
God!
All right, so I'm stopping it there because at this point we were almost done with that one. But
I mean, you can't make that up.
What a
comedy gold.
What a fucktard. So
what a shit show. This is the party.
I go through. I sit on a board, and we have to do elections, and we have to like figure out. All right, so who's up, who's not? Right. Okay, cool. But we don't go through. Well, I need 1 male,
1 female,
and granted,
one of any.
The board that I'm sitting on is different, but that's fucking ridiculous horseshit.
This is
the board you sit on doesn't concern themselves with all that. This gender, that gender, pronoun usage, all that bullshit.
This is the Democrat. This is your Democrat Party in action, man. This is what they do. This is
Cincy. These are your people.
God, these are
your people.
These are Cincy 513. These are his people, And you know what? He
So hold on. Since I just highlighted it, said nobody focuses on that gender shit more than you guys. It's meant to distract.
actually, that's
you
not
from
true. That's
we literally just showed
we
a
just
goddamn
showed you
video.
Your video of your convention or your DNC National Democrat Committee voting for their leadership.
Literally just fucking showed.
This is their words. The guy's got a Circle D on his shit. And you're telling me no one focuses more on the gender than us? I'm sorry, buddy. Fucking open your eyes. You are part of a fucking clown show with a bunch of fucking clowns. I felt like I'd rather go watch the fucking circus than watch that shit because you know what?
I'd rather go watch The View than go watch that.
I don't know. The View's pretty tough. But I mean, what a fucking bunch of morons.
The thing is, that clip there, we didn't play the whole thing. It was over 2 minutes long. And then there's another clip. Where this woman comes up and he says, "Oh, yeah, she's going to explain it to you."
Send it to me.
Now,
send it to me.
I can't find that.
This is the same Democrats.
It's hilarious.
Do you remember they had a meeting one time and they had that you couldn't clap. You couldn't clap because some of the people there
they get triggered.
So they did this. This is what Jason. This is how you applauded. Jazz hands. That's how they applauded. The whole crowd. The whole crowd was doing jazz hands.
I would do spirit fingers.
I mean,
I would not do jazz hands. I would do spirit fingers.
This is. I'm supposed to listen and take seriously these people's political opinions on life or anything. I got nothing. And 513. Well, you know, I'm sure Putin's really, the intellectual giant that he is.
As long as there's a boy trying to play girls volleyball somewhere, you won't notice the world shift away from.
By the way,
being a de facto currency.
Just to
grabbing, you're grabbing.
Appease our buddy 513. Read you a headline that moved 1 hour ago. Ukraine-Russia war.
Oh, here we go.
Kremlin opposes Trump demands for rare minerals from Kiev. So Donald Trump has said that he wants as repayment from my computer's freezing up. Hold on.
It's your computer, not
got a virus.
I know. Well, it did this the other day. My computer's freezing up. But essentially,
you probably got a virus.
Ukraine has a pretty good stash of rare earth minerals. Trump wants that as repayment for all the money we sent there.
Fine.
And for some reason, Putin doesn't like that.
Imagine that. Sucks to be him.
I mean, if you're Putin and you're trying to overtake Ukraine, don't you want Ukraine weakened as much as possible?
I would think so.
Yeah. So, and now I can't read the rest of the story.
No, because you have a virus.
I think you look at too much porn.
I have not looked at one piece of porn on this computer.
You looked at what's his face's wife.
Well, is that considered?
Probably.
I don't know about that.
Probably.
I don't know.
But anyway, hey, listen. I mean, at least Trump is asking for something, not just giving them a blank check and saying, I mean, we've given even though they can't account for it, billions of dollars. And what have we gotten for it?
But the bottom line, even without knowing the entire text of that story, is that Trump is pissed off Putin.
Hey, check this out.
Senate confirmed RFK Jr.
RFK Jr. has been confirmed by the U.S. Senate. Hey,
wow,
check that out.
Good work.
Have
we heard any updates on cash?
No, but I'm sure that
that was supposed to happen today.
Someone
potentially, right?
Well, wait a second. Someone might want to do a wellness check on 513. Given that information, he's probably going to be chewing on a shoe or some other piece of leather in his house or his fingers or whatever.
Oh my God, we've been at this for a while already. So we got to talk about our buddy Rick Barrett.
Hold on.
Just trying to figure out where we're at. If we had any updates.
Who, by the way, has a very short backswing, but a very powerful follow through.
Dude, it's pretty good. It's amazing, isn't it?
Guy can pound it, man. I mean, the golf ball.
Yeah,
I was hoping.
you were going to clarify.
I was hoping there was going to be a clarification.
We played golf with them the other day. We had a great time.
Golf simulation.
No, it was real golf.
Oh, you played real outside?
Well, no,
simulator.
But you get to hit the ball, so it is good.
Okay.
It's not as good as that thing Tiger Woods. That thing. Have you seen that thing Tiger Woods has?
No,
that's pretty cool.
Where's that at?
It's out in California.
No, it's in Florida. But
is it in Florida? It is in Florida. You're right. Tiger Woods' mom passed away over the weekend. By the way,
God damn, read, Dan.
When the time comes to borrow money, it doesn't matter who you are.
I'm dying.
There can always be questions, And we would like to suggest that
love it the way
when that time comes, you speak to our friend Rick Barrick. He's been helping people unlock the financial potential of their homes for almost 30 years now. His experience with Cross Country Mortgage, the second largest mortgage company in America, combines to offer solutions for every borrower. If it's a new home purchase or refinancing, low interest home equity line of credit, maybe to consolidate some debt, Rick has all the options tailored to your unique situation. Let's say you've had some challenges in the past, challenges getting a loan, maybe some other issues. Talk to Rick, see how he can help get you straightened out. The number on your screen is the one to call, 513-383-2923. You can also email Rick at rick.barrick@ccm.com. You do that, and you will be one step away from a personalized mortgage solution.
NMLS 18738.
Thank
By
you.
the way, I did hear that.
I love that you guys tag team that.
You know,
Awesome.
I did hear that the 30-year. I heard something today that one of the benchmarks for mortgage rates has plummeted, so that cheaper rates might be on the horizon. So Rick might be very busy here in the next several months, which would be great, because you know one of the things that I lament through my lamentations, big word, home, you know, we need people to be able to afford homes. And one of the, you know, the biggest barrier to that is high interest rates on the mortgage. So it'd be great if mortgage rates came down a little bit. I think it would be good for the market, good for our prices, good for everything.
It'd be good for, good for a lot of things. Good to get the economy rolling again.
It would be nice.
AOC is in the news today. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Is she a bartender?
She took a shot at Elon Musk.
Did you see my picture of her office?
No, I did not.
You did not.
Did you? Did you post a picture of her?
I
on
did. On
your Facebook?
On the Facebook. Yes. I went to DC and I sought out her office.
Oh no! You told me you were going to do that.
The picture was fantastic.
The picture was great, and so
you got a picture outside her office.
I do.
Did you send that to me?
I don't know if I did.
Did you speak to any of her staff members?
Send it to me now.
I spoke to the guy next door because her staff. You know, so you know.
Did you say, can AOC come out to play?
No, I did not, because I think they had me flagged. So I'm trying to find it. Can't be that long ago. Here's the deal. So in DC, obviously there's lots of offices around, but outside of her office, they have, we're talking old buildings here. These are very, very old buildings, right? She is very disrespectful. So she has hundreds of Post-it notes that you can go up and leave a note to her office telling her, because she's a total narcissist, and she has to be told how great she is
for
all
God's
the
sake.
fucking time. And so she has just people plastered Post-it notes all over her office wall. So what I did was, oh, here it is right here. So see, there's the notes.
You didn't send it. Send it to me real quick.
So there's my thing.
Email.
There you go.
Now, I did also leave her a couple of well-hidden notes.
Gave her the bird with the left hand and
gave
took
her
a picture with the right hand.
because I'm ambidextrous. And she was the only one. Most politicians there have like a visitor's journal that you can sign, like on a podium. But she has, she wants to make sure she feels the love.
Like, oh my God, I love you.
And the guy next door said, if you're going to leave something shitty, here's where you put it, because you got to slide it in there, because if they see it too quickly, they'll take it down.
Well,
but anyway,
she did take a shot at Elon Musk today. And of course, all the Democrats on Capitol Hill are very upset. It's amazing, isn't it? The two issues that move Democrats and leftists in this country like no other are abortion and a cut in spending, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the moment you want to either reduce abortion or cut spending,
limit abortion, right?
They go absolutely. It is meltdown, meltdown the entire time. But for some reason, AOC was talking about Elon Musk today.
Yeah, he's not now. This is a person who was a bartender and got elected to Congress. Really hasn't made much of herself, and other than the fact that she's elected and a loudmouth and boisterous and a complete and utter narcissist.
So there's your picture.
There's my
very
picture.
Nicely done.
I thought so.
And she
she
said today that Elon Musk is one of the most unintelligent billionaires she has ever met.
Yes, well, she's wrong. But now, correct me if I'm wrong.
Because we all know. I mean, everyone becomes a billionaire. He's the richest guy on the planet.
That's what I thought. He's the richest man on the planet, but he's stupid.
Just dumb. Just stupid. Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
And AOC would be an excellent judge.
Oh, yeah.
Of that, people in that sphere.
Let me ask you another question. How are those two, those two astronauts that nobody talks about anymore, the people that have been stuck in the fucking space station
Which they
for
should
months
be coming back soon.
Right. So how are they getting home again?
Elon Musk.
Oh, so they called Uber, and Musk is sending a starship up there to get them. Yeah. Sounds like a dumb guy, but hey, I take my advice from a ditz
AOC.
Whose claim to fame was she can make a drink. Congratulations.
Yeah, she can make a drink, and we don't even know if she can make a good drink.
I have no idea. She had a video in a tight shirt that she was dancing on the roof of some dorm or something up in Boston College, I guess, where she went to school, and that caught people's eye. And then she could complete a sentence. Personally, I think she looks a lot like. Do you remember? Did you watch Mr. Ed quite a bit when you were growing up?
I did not. Before my time.
Well, if you watch Mr. Ed and her, it's uncanny the resemblance because she's got a giant horse mouth.
Mr. Ed was before my time.
She's got a giant horse mouth.
She has a giant horse mouth.
But she does have difficulty identifying plumbing fixtures. And we all know about that.
And whenever she opens her mouth, a flood.
You remember when she first got into office, she moved into her apartment in New York City.
I don't remember that.
Or not New York City, but DC.
DC.
And it had a garbage disposal. And she was flipping the switch. She's like, "What is that noise?
Oh my god!
What is that noise?"
I did not know that, but I'm not surprised.
She had no idea what it was.
That's where you put your hand.
She said, "Is this even legal?"
It's where you put your hand.
It was a garbage disposal. I mean, you would think someone
fundamentally
someone with her background as a professional bartender would be able to.
You think there might
easily identify various plumbing fixtures?
You would think so, right?
You would think so.
You'd think so. You'd be wrong.
I heard a story that she once mistook the bidet in the speaker's office for an espresso machine.
Well, I can see that happening.
So we
don't knock the bidet. Don't knock the bidet, buddy.
But she got confused.
Maybe she thought it was a drinking fountain, just washing her face or ass. Doesn't matter. What's the difference?
We asked a charter member of this podcast, Mr. Dan Varner.
He's giving his opinion on the award
because I asked.
Yes.
Because I think it's horseshit. Beyonce wins a fucking Grammy for greatest country great country album this year, whatever. She's great at singing and dancing within her genre. Country music is not her genre. That's the fact. And we talked about Note Stations played that album.
Well, read the rest of the comment. I love it.
She won 0 CMAs. Crazy she won that Grammy for country album. They should give George Strait best rap artist next year. Completely agree.
Dan, you know what? He is the most knowledgeable guy about music that we have on the show.
We can't top that.
We cannot top that.
Cannot top that.
Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
You are the man. Thank you for actually responding to my fucking text message. Appreciate you. I needed you like 10 minutes ago.
Hey, better late than never.
Better late than never. Fellas, 5 o'clock Friday, I think we agreed on.
All right, sounds good to me.
We'll see.
We will back. Well, I'll be back Friday at 5 o'clock. Thank you guys for everybody tuning in, and make sure you download, subscribe, tell your friends. Hey, a friend of ours, Eric Tanzi, I don't have the graphic. I was supposed to get it, and his whole family's sick with the flu, but he's going to get me a graphic. Our buddy Eric Tanzi has put a book out for pre-sale, and we are going to urge everybody that is not in the failure to stop realm that they probably already have done it. Buy the book pre-sale. I'll get you a link. We'll put it up there. But we want to push his book bigger than shit. I mean, he's on the precipice of some good things. So it's called Pig Latin, a true story of a police officer. I'm probably messing the title up, but I'll get you a graphic. We'll put it on our Instagram for anybody that doesn't follow Failure to Stop. But we're looking to have a live event here in August.
Oh, that'll be big.
For a book signing. So we're looking to try to get February, try to push him through and get that out there. So we appreciate each and every one of you guys, even Cincy 513, because you're back. We know you're live. I want him alive. I don't agree with him.
I never
want
said I don't want him alive. I just said
I didn't say you didn't.
I was worried that something terrible and heinous had happened to him, and that it wasn't filmed, and then live streamed.
We'll be back here Friday,
so I could watch it
5 p.m. Eastern,
over and over. And
come back to the shit show.
By the way, it's Virginia.
What?
It's Virginia.
What are you talking?
That's getting the new Buckies.
Oh,
not one, but 3.
Damn.
See you guys Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern.
The one.